everyone, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and today I am here with my weekly WIP and Chat. If you're new or you're just not sure what that means, WIP stands for Work in Progress. In this case, it's going to be a diamond painting. I'll actually be kitting up my next project. And chat, I think, is pretty self-explanatory. I'm just going to be spending some time with you today, chatting and catching up, talking about life and just seeing how you're doing. So feel free to pull out a project to work alongside me, and I'll tell you a little bit more about what I'm going to be working on and with today. So like I mentioned, I'm going to be starting a new project. This is Ariel, currently busy exploring. This is from Diamond Art Club and is officially licensed artwork from Disney. And you know, Ariel is just one of my favorite Disney princesses, so I actually am going with this kit to wrap up a series that I have been working on and that you've seen various kits from throughout my WIP and Chats these past few weeks. I think it's been 3 or 4 weeks that this is week 4. I'm finally in the home stretch. There's 8 different kits in this princess series. They are Amazon exclusives, and they're all these little snack size kits. They're all the same size. They're 33 by 44 centimeters or 13 by 17 inches. They all have round drills, and they all have the same art style. And I had worked on one of them, and I even said in a WIP and Chat where I was working on that kit that I was enjoying it so much that I might just be really impulsive and work on all of these princesses in this series. And that's what I ended up doing. I've been filming a bunch of clips here and there throughout the process, and I'm going to have a bit of an editing nightmare on my hands, I think, once I go to actually put all those together. Hopefully it's going to be a coherent and a fun video to just kind of take you along for the ride of working on all these different Disney princess kits. So yeah, we're going to kit this one up today because I just finished kit number 7 last night. And then I thought I really do enjoy when I can do these kitting up videos with you guys in my WIP and Chat, so why not go ahead and save it for that? And so yeah, here we are. It should go pretty quickly because I think it only has something like 16 colors in it, so I also have some things handy in case we kit it up really fast and then we can go ahead and just start working on it. So I am ready for that because I don't anticipate it's going to take me an hour to kit up 16 colors even with a bunch of static. So I did kind of formally, I guess, unbox this kit. Formally, I mean, there's an unboxing video as opposed to me just pulling it out here in a video a little while back, I think in February. So I'll try to remember to link to that unboxing below if you're interested. Yeah, 16 colors in this kit. There's the original artwork. I've been really impressed with how Diamond Art Club has turned the artwork, like this art series, this style, into diamond painting form, especially at such a small size. In my opinion, it really works. Some people are probably going to be like, the faces aren't detailed enough or it's way too pixelated. But you know what? We have plenty of giant Disney kits that Diamond Art Club's been releasing. Yeah, no, give me all of the smaller kits, please. Like, I will take all of them, no complaints. And they're I think it's cute. It's like a mix of like chibi and I don't know what else, but oh, it's cute. I'm going to be using, this is a half size Elizabeth Ward style storage container. The only place I have seen these is on AliExpress. But to be fair, I haven't looked in like 6+ months. So it's possible they're sold on Amazon or something like that. And I know ordering from AliExpress could be a heck of a toss up right now. So I'll do my best to see if I can find if these are sold somewhere on Amazon, and I'll have it linked below, and I'll have the AliExpress link below, but just know that with the state of the world and stuff, I'm gonna try to keep it super neutral here, you guys, because I know a lot of you don't necessarily want to hear about it. I just want to give the disclaimer that the link might not be working, or they might not be shipping if you live in the US right now, so just disclaimer in case you're like, wait, I can't find it. Okay, let's open this up. But I really love this for snack size projects. I have been using this a ton with this particular series because they tend to be kits that don't have a ton of colors, and then this just doesn't take up too much space. Just feels very easy. So let me put this backwards. We'll have this in the background just to enjoy. Yeah, Okay, so the last kit I just finished up was the Bell kit in this series. And that Bell kit has, I don't have it nearby or I'd show you. The Bell kit has this pale yellow background that I just found myself really not, like honestly, not enjoying working on that background at all, because it was just all this pale yellow color, and it was like if any tiny piece of dust like got in there, it would show, and trying to multi-place it it just was not a fun time. So I'm a little bit nervous that this has this this pale pink background. I'm hoping it's not gonna feel like a slog, but it'll be okay. There's like a lot going on in the background, like with these plants and stuff, that hopefully mean that this isn't, that, I'm not hopefully going to be doing a ton of that pale pink color. We'll see. I do have dryer sheets ready because I have been running into static with these projects, and I know static can be really frustrating, but I just, a lot of it's climate dependent, and I feel like if you're working with a kit that has resin diamonds, static is like just sort of a unfortunate reality of it. I just have come to expect it, and instead of fussing about it, I just find workarounds. So you're going to see me just pour these diamonds straight into a dryer sheet to help get rid of some of that static, and then pour it from the dryer sheet into the storage containers. This was a hack that I saw first from Library of Diamonds, and at first it wasn't really working super well for me, and then I kind of got into a groove with it and figured out some ways to make it work. The trickiest part can sometimes be just getting the diamonds out of the bags, quite honestly. Typically my approach to kitting up, if I'm doing like a larger project, I like to keep my kits in DMC order. I don't know why. That's just how I typically like to do it. With these smaller projects, just for sake of ease when I'm doing these, I feel like it's faster. Since these are in order of like weight and amount of diamonds, I'm not going to be putting them in DMC order. I'm just going to be going through them, and like I'm going to start with this first color and put it into the largest size storage containers. So I'm curious. I know some people, when you're kitting up, you will organize your diamonds, like put all of the numbers together, like you put all the 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 all together, and the letters all together, and try to keep them in kind of organized that way. Are you one of those, or are you more what's your method? Do you have a method, or are you just kind of like whatever? however the chips fall is how it goes. So let me put this handy so I can put my trash in here. Let's just put it right there. Okay. So anyway, hi. How are you doing today? I hope that you had a great weekend and that your week is off to a wonderful start. It is, as usual, it is a Sunday evening here, and all is quiet. My kids are in bed. My husband will be walking in the door in a little bit, so I'll probably have a little pause, or you'll just, hear me say hey to him when he comes in, because he has been doing like a photo shoot with some friends today. So, but for now, all is quiet. Everyone's asleep, and I'm just sitting down to catch up with you guys at the end of the weekend like I usually do. Yeah, no, look at that static. Oh my gosh. It's unreal. Trying to get these straight out of the bag, like into a storage container, is a lot. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll kind of just, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour these. This is like even worse static than I feel like I've been really running into. I kind of sift. That almost sounded like I was going to say a really bad word. I really wasn't. I was debating whether to say shift or sift, and you heard where that started to go. And not that I can't use some colorful language, but I generally don't here, like on my channel. I move the drills around to try to dispel some of the static. And then I kind of I'll pop this open, and if you kind of tap it, it's almost like the dryer sheet, like, I don't know, it helps a little bit. Also, you can do this where you kind of breathe in. This is what I'm going to have to do. Breathe into the bag, like with a breath, like you're trying to fog up a mirror or a glass. Introduce some moisture in there. Yeah, that helps a ton. Yeah. Oh, that helps a ton. So some static hacks for you in case you're just like, I can't even handle this right now. So yes, anyway, I hope that you're doing well. I am going into spring, my kids being on spring break. So it's like going to be a week that's like not an off week for me. I'm going to have to be more on. We're going to be doing more. We have lots of hopefully fun plans and stuff in store for the week. So, you know, I'm enjoying the weekend while it lasts. And but then I'm looking forward to the week ahead a lot. So with family stuff. But I think I said I'm sorry. I filmed a clip for this princess series right before starting to film this WIP and Chat, and I'm trying to remember what I said in that clip for the series video versus what I've said at the beginning of this WIP and Chat. I just have a really, really horrible memory. I'm glad that I saved this particular kit for last because this is my favorite Disney princess, and also having been working on this series of kits for as long as I have been, I just sort of feel like I'm kind of ready to like move on to the next project. Even though this has been a bunch of different kits, it sort of all feels like one big project to me. And yeah, I'm ready to go ahead and get to start on the next thing. So it does help that this last project that I'm working on in the series is my favorite Disney princess. So I have like that excitement and motivation going for me. Be careful when you blow into your bags. Don't inhale by accident. 100% have inhaled like diamonds into my mouth before and like choked, you know? So don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, I was kind of slow with diamond painting this past week. I just felt like it's like I'd pick up one of the kits and work on a couple of sections of it and then kind of put it down and be doing other things. To be fair, we had just a lot going on, like personal life wise, that I'll chat with you a little bit about just a bit. So I just didn't do, it feels like a ton of diamond painting this week. I spilled drills everywhere. But I hypothetically could finish this in a couple of days. When I was really finding lots of momentum with this series, I was completing one of these kits in like a day and a half, but that was just for a few kits. Then I slowed down. After I finish this series, it'll take me a little bit to probably edit that video together. But I'm looking forward to doing it. It's just trying to piece the different clips together, find some good background music and stuff. I'm kind of just playing around with doing a slightly different approach and format to it that I hope will be fun to watch. Just kind of dipping my toes into different stuff like that here on my channel, just because I don't know. It just feels like, I've had my channel for quite a while, and so sometimes little changes, little shifts here and there can be nice. But I mean, you're always going to get my weekly WIP and Chats and some of the usual suspects like unboxings, reviews, and stuff like that. But yeah, little ways to bring you some new stuff. But yeah, this series will be fun. After I finish these kits, I think I want to go back and finish the Night of the Frost Dragon Stitch Along project. That the last part for that stitch along was sent out just this past week, just a few days ago, and so it was part 8 of 8, and I am looking forward to being able to finish that project. And the artist for that project, for the artwork, has already said that she'll have another stitch along at some point. I think she's done a lot of them, so that doesn't totally surprise me, but I'm not sure how much time she usually does in between her stitch alongs. So the artist, is Flossie Fox Shop. She has some diamond paintings licensed with Jaded Gem Shop, and some of her artwork licensed with Pixels, the sticker by number company that I have several of those. And the stitch along has just been really fun, and I like that she deliberately does her stitch alongs with artwork that is simple stitches, so it can be translated to diamond painting form. There's not really back stitching or specialty stitches that aren't something you can really replicate in diamond painting form. And she even had, I think, so many people doing it as a diamond painting that she would even include notes when she would send out, parts and updates. She would say, if you're doing this as a diamond painting, make sure you don't go past this point, because it looks a little bit different when you do it as a diamond painting. You have to come up with a background color and stuff. But I was thinking I'd do a post-review video on that project at some point here and talk about my experience of doing a stitch along and kind of what my learnings are. And so if you have any specific questions about doing a stitch along that you convert to a diamond painting and do as a diamond painting on a blank canvas, feel free to let me know in the comments of this video or send me a message or something like that. And yeah, so I am looking forward to being able to call that a finish though, because I started that, I think that stitch along started in September of last year. So it's been going for a minute, but it's been so much fun. I've loved it a lot. And I still need to pick out a background color for my temperature project. Now look, this color looks like it has so much less static in it. I wonder why that is. I need to pick out the background color that I want to use for my temperature project and get that ordered. I should probably do that sooner rather than later and get my temperature project totally up to date. But yeah, I just am still really enjoying working on these kind of ongoing projects where I'm turning cross-stitch charts into a diamond painting on a blank canvas. I don't know, it's just kind of become like a little staple on my channel here. And I hope there's another stitch along to do soon, because with that done, yeah, I won't have any other really long-term projects going besides my temperature project, but that's all right. What was I gonna say? Oh, I meant to also say that it was interesting working on all these princess kits back to back, because I feel like I noticed some minor differences between some of them, mainly with the bell kit, because the bell kit didn't have, well, it had the perforated sections, but it didn't have the lines on it. And I kind of felt like the drill field on that one was maybe not as tight as some of the others. And so I'm wondering, I'm like, ooh, I wonder if that one was produced earlier or something like that, but they all were released at the same time. So I don't know. But lots of observations I'm going to try to share in the video that I do on this whole princess series. Oh, no, that one's lots of static. Okay. This is like a quintessential bell color, this like specific shade of like minty green. It just very much seems, or not a bell, an Ariel color. It's like this and the purple and the red. So many Little Mermaid kits I've worked on this year. But yeah, what else has been going on? It was interesting this past week. I'm so curious to see. Well, I mean, a lot of you did leave comments on my Diamond Art Club sneak peek from Friday of the Chrysabug kit that was very different kind of unboxing, where we didn't have the kits in hand this past week, but we did like these digital sneak peeks. There were a couple of comments. Well, there was one person that just literally said pointless. That was it. I was like, okay, well, that's fine. You're allowed to have your opinion. I don't know that I agree that it's completely pointless. I agree it's not the same, but I don't know that I feel like it's pointless. But and there were a couple of people that were like, I don't know about this, which again, totally fair. I'm kind of the mind though, if it's this or nothing, I'd rather have this. I'd rather see like where the special drill is gonna go and kind of hear someone talk about their thoughts and impressions of it. And I don't know how long this is going to be a thing or something that we have to worry about, but I'm curious to see. I don't know. I have no idea if it's something they'll continue doing for any length of time or how that's all going to look, but it was something. It was interesting to be like, okay, how do I want to do this a little bit differently? I thought, okay, yeah, I'll to make it just a little bit, hopefully like less boring, I'll try showing my face. Like I'll talk with you guys so it feels like I'm maybe getting to connect with you a little bit more, and it's more enjoyable for me that way too, I think. And I wanted it to feel very just chill and casual, and even though I admit I get a little bit nervous about showing my face just because you never know, because people can be cruel, but I don't think I've yet had someone comment about like my appearance or anything like that, which is, it's a pleasant surprise, but I shouldn't be surprised because, you guys really are incredibly kind and sweet here on my channel. So, look at all those pretty colors. Oh my gosh. Okay. So even though I use that dryer sheet, I can still see some static in here. I am just going to go ahead and tuck some already cut up dryer sheets into these, because there's these particular colors or these containers look so bad, just to help for when I'm actually trying to go and pour them out and use them. Hopefully that'll save my bacon a little bit. I do just really, really briefly, I do want to chat for just a few minutes about the tariff situation. I know that I want to give a disclaimer specifically because I know some of you feel like you want to have spaces that are free of that. I will say I'm going to try to be extremely respectful about it and not, get inflammatory or anything like that. However, if you're like, I'm just not here for this, just skip ahead like 5 minutes tops and I should be done. I should be done by then. Look at my watch right now. Okay. But it's been weighing really heavily on my mind. And so I just want to talk about it, kind of acknowledge it and whatnot, just for a few minutes. Again, I'm going to try to keep it very as neutral as I possibly can while feeling like I'm just kind of feeling heartbroken about it. So, let's just honestly, it sucks. It sucks because I'm seeing so many small businesses and even businesses that, we tend to think of as big, even though they're technically absolutely small businesses, like the bigger diamond painting shops in the diamond painting world, like Diamond Art Club. It's like, these are all technically small businesses, but then the in-home small businesses, like Jaded Gem Shop, Enablers, Outpost, Diamond Artisan, Munimade, and more. I know tons that I didn't name just there that I absolutely am heartbroken for as well. My heart hurts for the people that are worried if they're going to lose their livelihoods and that there's nothing they can do about it. I don't know if you guys know, this is not me trying to get political. It's just me mentioning in case you were unaware. China has a patent on diamond painting. And so my understanding is that I was even reading the patent because I was curious about something what does this mean? What do you mean? It's various parts of the process of what makes a diamond painting that China has a patent on. So my understanding is that these can't be made in the United States. Even if that were a practicality to make that happen. And so it just feels like it's a really crappy situation and people are very stuck. And my heart hurts. My heart hurts. It's the uncertainty, the not knowing what's going to happen with some of these small shops and even with the big shops where it's like, is this going to become something that's, out of a lot of people's price ranges? And I mean, I'm on a super, super, super tight budget right now because of personal life circumstances. And so I know I'm not the only one. So I just wanted to say my heart's just going out to everyone that's affected by this, whether you're a crafter or a shop owner or wherever you kind of land in all this. It's stressful and it sucks. It sucks that it's affecting a hobby that so many of us use for taking care of our mental health and to get a break from things that are hard in our lives and in the world. And so, that's all I want to say. I'm not looking to get into an argument with anyone. And I actually really try to make a point of not deleting comments that are left on my videos. But if it starts to get messy, I might clean it up just because this is just not something I really want to get into an argument over. But sympathy and empathy. Lots of people like to throw around the idea of being an empath or being empathetic, and some people like to weaponize it in ways that don't make sense to me. I don't understand why you would weaponize that, but that's just it. I'm putting myself in other people's shoes and imagining how heartbreaking and terrifying this is for them, and worried about, in some ways how it's going to affect me in different ways too. So anyway, we're going to move on from that. I just wanted to acknowledge that because I know a lot of us have probably been seeing posts and whatnot about it over the past week especially. So we're going to move on from that. Look at that. I was under 5 minutes on that topic. And so if you scrolled ahead a bit, you're safe. You're totally safe. Sorry for the sniffles on my part. I am dealing with some allergies. We've had our weather has really taken a turn for the warm this past week. We were in the mid to even the high 80s a couple of days. I was sending my kids to school in shorts and my allergies have just felt really out of control. So apologies for that. I also wanted to put in a quick note here. I had, for those of you that are watching this video and want just a quick early heads up, I am going to have a Summer with the Masters announcement video going out this week. I had originally planned for that to go out this past weekend, and then I forgot that I had that one last midweek sneak peek from Diamond Art Club that had been sent out to me a few weeks ago. I forgot that I had that. I was like, oh shoot, let me go. I put this up on Sunday instead, and had the Diamond Art Studio UK video that I wanted to make sure I did on Saturday. So originally that was my plan for Summer with the Masters announcement, and now I'm thinking that's going to be in the next few days. So stay tuned for that. Long story short, the event is happening. It's just going to be a little bit more low key than last year, but this event means a lot to me, and I didn't want to let a year go by without it. So yeah, it's going to be very, very chill this year, and I think that probably is for the best anyway, because if you were wanting to go and order a custom or something right now, it might be kind of tricky. And so I'll try to share some options for, alternatives if you do want to participate. So anyway, yes, the event is happening, and I'll have all the details in that announcement video. So I am a little bummed because I didn't order like a John William Waterhouse piece. I've done a John William Waterhouse piece for every year of Summer with the Masters since I launched it with my friend Jessica from Tiny Worlds of Wonder. This will be the 5th year for this event. We brainstormed, it was our brainchild. We came up with it and started this event back in 2021. And I have done a John William Waterhouse piece every single year of this event since. And I didn't get an order in before everything happened. And so this might just be a year where I don't actually get to work on a John William Waterhouse piece. But I have other old masters, just unless I find like a store or someplace that I can get one. Like I don't see John William Waterhouse at like Michael's Make Market. It's gonna look different this year, but yeah, we'll see. But anyway, this past week there's been a lot that's been going on, just like in personal life type stuff. I know I talked a lot about sort of diamond painting related things, but it's just like I had a I had to sit down and make a list at one point because I was like, I'm gonna forget stuff. There's lots of time sensitive things happening and things that I just need to get taken care of. Like I need to get it together and get it taken care of. Some different things like, oh my gosh, taxes. That took so much time every single year. Like I think I said last week, every single year I go, I'm going to make sure that I stay on top of things throughout the year so that I'm not having to just sit down and do all this at the very end of the year. And once again, it was the year where I procrastinated. And so I was handling all of that, but it's done. But I'll just say the results were not what I was hoping for, especially since Adam has been out of work for several months. But we'll be okay. It's just like, it's not what I was wanting to, not what I was hoping for. But it's done. And oh my gosh, if you work in accounting or if you still have to do your taxes, I am wishing you all the best luck and hoping that you get the absolute best news possible from your taxes. But it's done. It's actually done. And bless our tax person. And so that took up a couple of evenings this past week. We honestly had a pretty rough start to the week. I thought that I was really shaking my funk. I think I probably even said as much in last week's WIP and Chat. And then just Monday was such a Monday of a Monday. I don't know if anyone else feels like you have those sometimes where you're like, oh my gosh, it's such a Monday. It was just a rough day, like for all of us in our family. It was not a cute start to the week. And so that probably was why I ended up sort of, my anxiety manifested as sitting down and be like, okay, what can I control? Let me sit down and make a list of the stuff that I need to do and use this as motivation to get some stuff done. So, that was our Monday. Not my favorite start to the week, but it turned around. There are a lot of things we really like got together and made happen by the end of the week. We had open house for the kids this past week. If you're not sure, like with those, if you don't have kids, or I think probably different districts or states or whatever do it differently, let alone different countries, of course. But it's just where it's usually here. It's later in the school year, and it's a chance for you to get to go in, see your kiddo's classroom. They get to kind of show you around. It's usually in an evening. Sometimes they'll do like a little awards ceremony or something, but then you get to see the kids' classrooms. Usually they've kind of decked it out a bit so that they have different like projects up and stuff, or they have things on their desks, and they get to kind of just show you around, show you what they've been working on, show you their classes, and kids, they love it. It's just a really fun time for them, and it's fun for us because we don't really usually get to see them in their classrooms and stuff. And I adore Connor's teacher this year. I think I'm forever and always going to look back on this as like one of my favorite teachers of his. And he even said that, she's his favorite teacher that he's ever had. And she just gets him. And I feel like if you have kids, that just if your kids have a teacher that just seem to understand them, especially if your kids, whether they have special needs or they just generally struggle, or even if they don't, it's like just having a teacher that gets your kids is like it's a dream. It's a dream come true. And so I'm just soaking up every bit of Connor having this teacher, and just very much hoping that there's more teachers to come in the future that also understand him. But it was really neat to get to go see his class and get to chat with his teacher a little bit. And it was a really good time. And right now, I talked about this last week, I know, but I don't assume that you're always watching every single video that I ever put out. That's why I will repeat things sometimes. Last week I talked a little bit about just generally some of the struggles and stuff we're having with Micah's class. Sorry, let me go ahead and get this set up. I need to put down a nice flat surface to work on this. I'm going to bring the camera down a little bit so that you guys can see up close where I'm working. I got to grab like a measuring tape so that I can measure off my sections. I didn't grab coordinating accessories or anything right now, but hold on. Look away if you're going to get motion sick. I'm going to bring the camera down for a moment. That'll work. That'll be good enough. So what was I saying about Micah's class? Oh, so he's been in this new class for a couple months at a new school. It just so happened that their open houses were at the same exact time on the same day. It doesn't always go this way, but that's how it went with this. And so we first went to Connor's open house and went to book fair. Oh my gosh, do you guys remember book fair? Did your school have book fair when you were kids? And it's everyone's favorite time, right? So they always have the book fair available at the open house, so that if you want to go and shop with your kids, then you can. And so I took the kids to the book fair. Adam had like a prior commitment of a film shoot he was helping a friend out with that night. I had forgotten completely to put the open house on the calendar, and it was like, it's okay. Like, it's fine if you're not there. It's not a big deal. The kids, they'll be okay. Just in case you're like, why wasn't Adam there? That's why. It's nothing like weird or nefarious. It was just a scheduling thing. So took the kids to the book fair and let them each pick out a book, which they loved, and then went and visited Connor's class. We went kind of at the beginning of the window to his class, and then we went and poked our heads into Micah's old classroom, and the way that it just made my heart melt, but it also made my heart hurt a little bit, because it was like I just saw Micah immediately kind of open up, and it was just like he was so happy to see his old teacher, and just the whole vibe of his old classroom. The best word I have to describe it is just it's very warm, and the vibe with the teachers and the aides in there, it's very nurturing, kind of similar to with Connor. They just get Micah, and so I was feeling kind of emotional about that. I was like, girl, do not cry. We are not crying in front of the teacher and all this. This is not how we're handling this right now. I know that this is me talking to myself. I know that we get super emotional about this whole situation, but get it together. Come on. And I did, I mostly held it together. And Micah loved seeing his old teacher, and they were so excited to see him and stuff. And then we stopped by, Connor wanted to stop by the speech therapist's room because he does get speech therapy. I think it's just once a week now, but that's part of his like IEP and stuff. And oh my gosh, the speech therapist was so sweet. She was so happy to see Connor, and he really likes her a lot. And she was just telling me, she's like, I have to tell you about how kind Connor is. And she started getting choked up, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're gonna make me teary. But she said, because the way that they do speeches, they typically will have like, it's like kind of small group style. So at least how, Connor's the one that he's in. And so it's usually like a few kids, I think 3 or 4 or 5, something like that. And sometimes there's just a kiddo that's having a hard time. And she was saying Connor is always just so super kind and patient and good with like the kids that are having a tough time. And again, she's tearing up and I start tearing up, especially because we've just come from Micah's old class and I'm already emotional. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can tear up over this. But it made my heart so happy, like to hear that Connor is like, even when he's not at home, when we're reminding him about ways to be kind and empathetic to others, that he's just initiating and doing that on his own at school, and to the kids that are just having a hard time and struggling. It's like he's happy to just be right there with them and just kind of sit with them in it. And I'm like, I love that Connor can be that for other kids, and I hope that there are other kids that are that way when Connor is having a tough time too. So that was really heartwarming to hear. I just am so glad that Connor's having a wonderful year, and that he just is really thriving like where he's at. So and then we went over, after we kind of were done there, we went ahead and went over to Micah's school, his new school that he's been at for a couple months now, and visited his open house. And right now the teacher is a long-term sub because his teacher's out on maternity leave and has been for about a bit over a month. And long-term sub wasn't there, which, I having worked in schools before, like I understand it's like they're not getting paid for that time. It's not necessarily time that they have like available to them, or that is, part of sort of the expectation. So I wasn't upset, but I was a little bit bummed just because I had been hoping to meet her, because I haven't met her in person yet. And I thought it'd just be nice to get to connect and talk in person a bit. Especially after I was feeling really frustrated. One of the things I was frustrated about on Monday was just feeling like I was struggling to get Micah's school to communicate with me. I felt like I just am always the one that's initiating and reaching out to be like, hey, okay, just checking in. Like, how's Micah doing this week? What can we be continuing to do at home to support? What are the things we need to be, front loading him with and prepping him for? What are the challenges that we can help support at home? And it sometimes feels like I'm pulling teeth to get responses, which doesn't make sense when he's having the level of challenges that he is, which we found out more about later in the week in a meeting with them. That I haven't gotten to that part yet, but basically we went to Micah's open house, and the speech therapist is the one hosting the room, and I did get to like see Micah's class. It was just there wasn't like much. They hadn't really done anything with it, which again, I don't know if that's just sort of like they have a long-term sub right now, but I hear Adam coming home. I'm going to pause and I will be right back. All right, just chatting and catching up with him a bit. So, so we went to Micah's new school and for that open house, and it was just, I'll tell you what, it was the juxtaposition of going to his old class and then his new class back to back that just kind of, I don't know, it left me feeling kind of off kilter, but also was kind of confirming some overall feelings I've been having about this new class he's been in. And so we weren't there for very long, and then we left, and I just brought the kids home. And, Micah was still happy to get to show us his class and stuff, but it was just bit of a different experience. So, so that was that evening. And then I got to go and do lunch with Micah at his school on Friday, because this is like a thing that all the different schools in our district have done, where it's like various times during the year you can go in and parents can have, or a loved one, it doesn't even have to be a parent, can do lunch on campus with their kiddo. So I got to do that with Micah, and that was really fun. He was so tickled to get to see me at school and stuff. And immediately after, Adam had the chance to have a meeting with the school psychologist there, and had kind of a long chat about things and just some of our, what's been going on and everything. And I don't want to get into too many details, just for, I'm always trying to walk that line of sharing about life and what's really weighing on my mind and what's going on, but also wanting to be respectful of especially my kids' privacy. But this has been it's literally kept me awake at night. The just sort of worrying and trying to figure out like how to navigate this transition to this new school for Micah and this new program. And this is something that we've done with our kids before, where it's like, okay, you're ready to kind of graduate from a mod severe class to a mild mod, or from a mild mod to a gen ed class and stuff, or okay, and that means we're shifting to this other school that has this program and stuff. We're no strangers to this at all. We've done it with both our kids for years, and just something about this time, I felt kind of, I started out being like super optimistic and like, yeah, okay, if you're saying you feel like he's ready to do this move, and mid-year, like it's obvious we're all feeling like, yeah, it's time, it's let's go and stuff. And just very quickly started to feel like I don't know. I don't feel like, I don't know if this is right. I don't know if this was the right call, but let's exhaust as many options as we can to try to make it work, navigate it. Transition periods are just sort of the name of the game with this sort of thing. But here we are months into it, and if anything, it seems like it's potentially gotten worse. So there's some things in motion, and nothing is nailed down, and so I don't want to get into it too much. But I'm happy with how ultimately the conversation with the school went, and where we're kind of landing about kind of maybe, backtracking. So we'll see. It's spring break now, and so it's gonna be a bit, and it can take like a little bit of time to make changes and make things happen. But we definitely have said, we want to expedite things as much as we can. Like let's get Micah to a place where he's thriving, growing, learning. But gosh, just things that you do the best you can. Adam and I will say this to each other kind of ad nauseum, and I know you've heard me say it here on my channel before if you've watched, especially like my WIP and Chats, but it's like all you can do is make the best decision you can with the information you have at the time. And if you get more information or new insight, you can change what your decision is and what you're going to do. But that doesn't mean that it you were wrong to make the decision that you did before. You did the best you could. And this is just kind of one of those times where it's like, well, we tried, and we tried our best, and I feel like we did the best we could with this. And so now we're making hopefully some changes here, but it can be really hard to navigate. And I think that I've been taking this all so hard, and I've been so emotional about it because I just feel this really, really, really strong weight of responsibility as a parent. It's like I'm like my not just my job, but like what I want is to make the absolute best decisions I can for my kids, so that they're going to feel like they are safe and thriving and growing and just able to sort of be their best, healthiest, happiest selves. And I take it really hard when it's like that is just not happening right now. And I feel like it's a direct result of a decision that I made, even though it was the best decision I could have made at the time. So I think that's why it's just been weighing on me so heavily, and why it just has me, wanting to burst into tears like anytime that I think or talk about it too much. But feeling better about things and where we're going. And yeah, along with that, I finally have my first like official therapy appointment on the calendar and a time slot and everything. And of course, it's like the first one's going to be during spring break. So I was like, okay, Adam, like I'm going to need like an hour and a half to go do this like actual initial intake appointment, not an intake appointment, but it's like the first appointment. And if you've done therapy before, talk therapy, you know how it goes. Like, yeah, there might be the sort of the initial, like, okay, let's chat and see if we're a good fit kind of brief thing. But then like you have your first appointment where it's like, okay, now we are therapist and patient. And now we're going to like basically get down to business and start talking about like what brings you here. Let's talk about your background. Let's talk about, you know, all these different things. And so like I've done this before. And so it's like, I know that at the end of that appointment, I'm going to be like probably emotionally and physically exhausted because it's going to be like, okay, and there's this that I want to try to unpack. And here's this thing I've done in therapy before. So I've already told her, I'm like, well, I need you to be on kid duty for like this. Not only while I'm in therapy, but I'm going to probably need some decompression time. But I actually am I'm relieved and looking forward to getting in with a therapist again and just being able to have someone help me kind of navigate like different challenges and just stuff, like a lot of the heavy stuff and the hard stuff that I am just sort of going through right now. And it's like, that's, I think the best thing I can do is have a professional that can help me work through it. So I hope this therapist is actually a good fit. It's hard to tell sometimes until you've really like gotten into it, and sometimes it can take like even a couple months to figure out like is this working, or is this am I getting what I need from this? Is this the right fit and stuff? So I have a good feeling, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful and optimistic, and just glad it's on the calendar. Other things that I tried to knock out this week. Can I just say, like, wait lists for various like assessments and diagnoses are just so crazy right now. I was calling around to we're looking at maybe getting some official diagnoses for some things with our kiddos, and the one that I talked to this past week was like, and it's a 9 to 12 month wait list to get an appointment. I was like, okay, well, go ahead and put us on the wait list. I am gonna, keep calling around, but okay. But it seems like that probably is kind of the norm right now. I don't know if it's like because we're going into summer and stuff, and people are trying to schedule stuff for when their kids are going to be out of school, or what, or it's like end of year, parent teacher conference type things. I don't know, but I just was like 9 to 12 months. All right, well, here we go. And yeah, so there's that. But I've been, like I said, just kind of checking off things from my to-do list this week and feeling pretty good about what I have gotten done. We do have spring break for the kids this week, like I mentioned, and we don't have any huge plans. There's something that will likely be happening in a few days that I will share about more probably next week. Not to be a total tease, I'm sorry, but there's part of me that's like, is this gonna like work out? How's this gonna go? So I'll report back next week, but yeah, we have some plans that'll kind of probably be in the middle of this week. But then other than that, I'm thinking we'll probably spend some time in the pool if we have some warm days. Our pool opened up on April 1st, and we finally got to make use of it. Our first day swimming was kind of kicking off spring break when the kids were out of school on Friday. It was like, okay, it's like 87 degrees. Let's go get in the pool. And they were super excited to be back in it. Connor did swim lessons last year, and now he is like totally comfortable in the water, even like the deep end. And we're looking at having Micah do some swim lessons this summer just to get him a little bit more water safe. But it was fun because Micah is definitely a little bit taller, obviously, because kids grow, because that's how it works, than the last time we were in the pool several months ago. And I was like, oh, he can like stand and have his head above water, and more of it that he could, like in a little bit deeper water than he could last year. So that helps a bit, but I still want to get him as water safe as possible. So kind of looking into that for the summer. But yeah, and then Connor was just so excited to be swimming again. He's so chatty. He's always like making friends. He was because lots of other neighbors have been using the pool too, especially with the warm weather we've been having. And it's just he'll find kids that are around his age and he'll just chat up a storm with them, or even he'll chat with adults too. It's so funny. He can be way more social than you might expect, but. So kids are glad to have access to the pool again, and it was cold though. I did not like get in the water because I was like, that is chilly. That is really, really chilly. I will sit here on the edge and observe. I will supervise, and we'll probably go to, we have like a monthly Chuck E. Cheese membership thing that my mom had gotten for the kids for Christmas, and we can go like every day and they get so many points that basically amounts to like an hour of unlimited gameplay in the end. And so we'll probably get them to Chuck E. Cheese at least a couple of times this week, though I'd imagine we'll be battling some crowds while we're there. And I don't know, we'll see if there's some other fun things we want to do this week too, but those are kind of the main things on top of the mystery that I will so obnoxiously withhold from you till next week. But hopefully it'll be a good week. It's a late spring break this year, I feel like. I think because ours typically aligns with Easter, and Easter falls really late this year. So there is that. But you'll have to let me know if you have kids or if you're a teacher or something, if you have spring break. Talk about a rude awakening when you go into adulthood though, like especially if you don't go into like an education field, the reality of like, oh, as adults you don't get spring break, you don't get summer break. that's a kid's thing, or a teacher thing. But anyway, as far as what I've been reading and watching and listening to, I feel like at this point I feel so silly even having the reading category in this part of my WIP and Chat. Like I've been doing it this way for I don't know, like at least a year, right? It has to have been over a year. And I'm still in this dang reading slump for audiobooks and stuff. So I have nothing to report here. But I'm like stubborn. I don't want to give up this part of this part of my video because it's like, no, I'm gonna get back to it. I'm gonna get back in the groove. I'm gonna get my reading bug back, but it's just not there. At least not for, like I said, kind of traditional books and audiobooks, but oh well. Watching, Adam and I started season 3 of Star Trek Discovery, but I think we only watched the one episode. Oh no, that putty is all messed up. And I mean, we liked it, but we only watched kind of the one episode, and I'm like, shoot, how do we only watch the one episode? We've been kind of had some busy evenings trying to get some stuff done. We were debating, we're like, do we want to go to Strange New Worlds or start season 3 of Discovery? Decided to start season 3 of Discovery because we're like, well, we want to see what happens after the season finale of season 2. And like I've said, Star Wars or Star Trek, I love both, so it wasn't supposed to be a slam. Star Trek is just like, it's delightful escapism, especially at the moment, and so I'm enjoying that for the moment. Adam has also been slowly working on his watch through of Supernatural, which is one of my all-time favorite shows, and I often have like some kind of rewatch going at any given time, but not so much myself recently, because Adam has been slowly making his way through not a rewatch of the series, but just a watch of the series. He's on season 11, I think, at this point, and so when he puts on an episode, I'll just listen and enjoy hearing his reactions and stuff. So that's been a little bit of background noise too. And then as far as listening, I don't remember if I mentioned this last week, but I did find a YouTube channel that I found really fascinating as a child of the 90s. And I think it's called the Deep Dives channel. And they do a lot of deep dives on various things, like a lot of it's like Disney Channel stars or different celebrities or people or shows from when I was growing up. And so I'm finding that really inherently interesting. And, I feel like that kind of video is almost, it's not true crime, but it's almost true crime adjacent in sort of the way that they can cover things. So that's kind of been I've been treating it like a podcast. I just have it on in the background while I'm diamond painting. That's why I call it a listening as opposed to watching. But, and then this is kind of listening adjacent, but I've been seeing a lot of people post videos and whatnot from Coachella, which I've never been. I'm not necessarily interested in going because it just sounds like it's like a lot, like crowds wise, and just with how hectic it seems like it is. But it's fun to see like some videos and stuff from it. I saw a couple of fun clips from like Lady Gaga's performance and stuff, but yeah, that's been fun to watch from afar. But as far as what I have coming out this week, so like I said, look for a Summer with a Master's announcement video. And what else? Unboxings, as always. Maybe the princess video. We'll see how quick I can kind of edit that together. It's going to take me a little bit of time for sure because I have a million clips on my phone that I need to put together over the course of like the past few weeks. So it'll take me a bit. But and then I have some different things like that I've picked up from stores, like in-store finds. And so I'll probably have maybe one of those videos go up this week. And I don't know if Diamond Art Club's gonna have us do like a digital sneak peek this week. I don't really know how that's all gonna look. I'm just feeling very go with the flow and flexible about it all, and just like whatever works for you, whatever you would like. I'm happy to put together a video, or if it's like, yeah, we're not gonna do this, that's fine. And it was so nice because even when they were like, okay, if you want to do this, you can. I know as much as some people feel like, oh my gosh, these Diamond Art Club sneak peeks, they give them scripts. They really don't. They really don't. We all just sound the same because we watch each other's videos, and it's like you want to cover like the same salient points and stuff, and there's only so many ways you can like talk about a thing, but that's, neither here nor there. But the digital ones, they're just kind of like, here's some information you might find helpful, like the special drill placement, which was actually, yeah, super helpful. Other than that, yeah, we'll see. I'll figure out what I want to do otherwise this week, but I'm going to let you guys go. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, do you want to do maybe some kind of pink emoji in honor of this pale pink background I've been multi-placing here? I think that's no, that wasn't. Okay, that's just smart. Here's the problem is like, yeah, if there's so much as like a tiny bit of this putty touches the background, or a little speck gets in there against the super light color background, it shows up way too easily. So I'm always trying to kind of pick that off and navigate around it and trying to get these to place evenly. Imperfections show up so much more with light color drills than they do with squares, in my opinion. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments how you are doing and what you've been, up to, what you were working on while we chatted. And yeah, pink emoji if you made it all the way to the end. I hope you guys are doing well, that you have a really, really good week ahead. I am just sending you so much love and hoping that the week only has brighter, happy things in store for all of us. That's my just head in the sand optimist wanting to come out there. But no matter what, I really, really hope that you are doing well and that you have a wonderful week ahead and that you take care. Have a day and a week that is as amazing as you are. And I will chat with you in my next video. All right. Bye, friends.